Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. It's apparently National Bathtub Day, Tony. How you celebrating that?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. Not with the neighbors again. Too many people. The faucet was jamming into my back.
Okay, now
Not
you're
doing
getting
that.
into too many details. This is TMI.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
National
You're
Bathtub.
not a bath person, right?
No.
You're not a bath person.
And if you come
You're
to
just
my
a shower.
house and you take a bath, get out. You got too much time on your hands. Take a shower for 3 minutes. I'm like Saban. This is not a resort. Get out of here. There's no bath. Love Saban in that commercial, too.
He's very good in that.
He really is.
Yeah, 255. I know. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the Dodgers are one win away. Wilbon's Cubs are on the verge of elimination, and Jeff Saturday joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with last night's NFL game in which Jacksonville's team.
Tony, the result is these are the kind of plays that went 100% in Kansas City's favor last year. We know this because they were 11-0 in one-score games. The Chiefs won every game like this last year, which made them resented as a team to some people, not to me. But, Tony, these games are so close across the league. There's just so little margin for error. The Jaguars are better. You know, we talked about this yesterday. I've been waiting for Trevor Lawrence to sort of creep ahead incrementally and get to the point where he looked like he did in college. We're not there yet, but maybe. And the Kansas City Chiefs are now finding out how everybody else lived over the past few years while they had all these plays work in their favor. I don't think it says anything grand. The Chiefs have plenty of time left to win more of these games than they lose. And the Jaguars have not sort of flexed to the point that they're in the clear. The Jaguars are not 14-3 yet. But I thought it was kind of cool the way they won that game and the way particularly Trevor Lawrence hung in there.
Thank you for mentioning that you've waited for him since college.
I have.
Because I will tell you my first reaction having seen that play. And it was, thank God he's no longer at Clemson, because if your hand touches the ball and your knee goes down in college,
You're
that's
done.
it.
Yeah.
That's the end of the play.
Yeah.
You can't make that play in college. I think it was a big-time win for Jacksonville, maybe a big-time win for Trevor Lawrence as well. Jacksonville's now 4-1. Among the teams they've beaten are Kansas City, which has recently won a bunch of Super Bowls, and San Francisco, which has recently gotten to a Super Bowl, I believe. You know, they find themselves on top of the AFC standings. You know, they're tied with Buffalo and they're tied with Indianapolis. This is Jacksonville we're talking about. I mean, are they a playoff team? No, not necessarily. But right now, Mike, I'll tell you who's not a playoff team. Baltimore's not. I'll tell you Cincinnati's not. Miami's not. And these are teams that are often in the playoffs. So maybe this was the breakthrough game with Trevor Lawrence. At the end of the game, he threw a lot of very good passes. Maybe this coach is the coach who unlocks the door for Trevor Lawrence. Maybe, but it's too early.
One thing we got to touch on. How did you feel about Chris Jones just sort of – that was a bad – it was a weird look for a player that great.
I would say that he looked at the play in the same way I did, from a distance. That was sort of what happened. But you're right about Kansas City. They should have won. They're up 14-0. They won 23 in a row up 14. Now you do.
Yeah. It's a good game. Let's move to baseball. And the Dodgers going up 2-0 on the Phils in that best of 5 NLDS. The Dodgers pulled ahead with a 4-run seventh. The Phillies could have tied it in the ninth if not for two terrific infield outs by the Dodgers. First, that wheel play on a sac bunt, which got an out at third base. And second, a Freddie Freeman dig out at first. Tony, is this series more about what the Dodgers are doing or what the Phils are not?
So I think it's the Dodgers. You know that I think that the Dodgers and the Phillies are in the highest echelon there is in baseball. I think it's more about what the Dodgers are doing than what the Phillies are not. The game was tied 0-0 into the seventh. Luzardo was pitching great. A couple of guys get on, and then all of a sudden it starts raining runs. And Will Smith gets a big hit, Shohei Ohtani gets a big hit, and it's 4-0. But the Phillies come back, Mike. They come back for reasons that are unclear to me. Dave Roberts puts in Blake Trinan
your boy,
to get 3 outs in the ninth. Yeah, my boy. 3 outs in the ninth of a 4-1 game. I've been to this movie with the Washington Nationals. Blake Trinan doesn't get anybody out. and suddenly 2 runs are in. It's a 4-3 game, and Castellanos is on second base. So they lay down a bunt because he's the tying run. They lay down a bunt to get him to third, and then you have this wheel play. Muncy rushes in, turns around, throws the ball to Mookie Betts, who puts on a tag. And, Mike, you and I have kept a lot of score in our life at baseball games. I never wrote down 5-6 tag. I never wrote that down in my life. Nobody writes that down. 5-6 tag. That doesn't ever happen. And then the Dodgers needed 3 pitchers in the ninth, and as you say, they had saved. Freddie Freeman makes a great stretch and scoops the ball up. It's a terrible throw by the second baseman. It's terrible. They get out of the game. Yeah.
The Dodgers are narrowly, marginally better. That's it. That's the only conclusion. Draw. These are 2 close games. This is not like the Yankees and the Cubs getting blowed out. This is not like that. These games come down to like a play or so.
Right.
I mean, Jimmy Rollins in the postgame explained it with such insight and precision on what Castellanos could have been doing to sort of get a bigger lead off a second and make it safely the third for a guy who's not particularly fast, but he also is not a particularly savvy base runner. And Jimmy Rollins was. But it was fascinating to watch all that stuff post-game. And Mookie was great, and the Dodgers are precise, and the Phillies aren't hitting out of the guys they need to get hits from. They might be able to do that once in Dodger land, though. They might be able to do that in Dodger Stadium.
The top of the order. Trey Turner is the National League batting champ.
Yeah.
Schwarber is the National League home run champ, and I believe that Harper's a 2-time MVP, and they're 2 for 21 at the moment, which, as we like to say, is San Diego land.
But that's
Let's stay with baseball. Stay with baseball. Deal with the agony of your Cubs. They took the lead in the top of the first on a 3-1 homer by Seiya Suzuki, but couldn't hold it for more than 2 outs. Then Milwaukee single, Milwaukee 3-run bomb by Andrew Vaughn. Your Cubs never scored again, and the Brewers got 2 more homers, including another 3-run shot by Jackson Chourio. Final score 7-3. Wilbon, the Cubs are going back to Wrigley down 2-0. Should Cubs fans still believe?
I mean, we have to believe. But the Brewers are a better team. The Brewers at one stretch went 38-16 in July and August, and that is the stretch they use to win the division and separate themselves and give themselves a bye, and also prove to themselves when they walk out there like, no, we got this. That's how the Brewers feel. That's how they should feel. They earned that. Can the Cubs win a game at Wrigley? I don't know. I mean, the Cubs got off to a bad start when Craig Counsell said, I'm going to pitch Matthew Boyd on short rest. You know I support almost everything Craig Counsell's done all summer to get the Cubs to this position. But starting Matthew Boyd, who's like 34 years old, on short rest, that got the Cubs off to a bad start. And I don't know if we can recover. It doesn't look like we can recover. But, Tony, the Brewers are the better team. They feel like it. They played those games at home.
Sure.
They didn't care that the Cubs got off to that start. And, by the way, the 2 teams were 7-7 in that ballpark, or against each other. I'm sorry, 7-7, but 3-3 in that ballpark going into that game last night. So it's not like they held a big edge, but the edge they have is all they need.
So you're my friend, and I root for your team, but I watch these games, and Milwaukee is a better team.
Yeah.
The Cubs, let me give you some numbers that I know are painful. The Cubs have only 12 runs in 5 playoff games at the moment. They struck out 11 times last night. They've struck out 58 times in these 5 games. They only got 2 hits after that home run in the first inning. They only got 2 more hits. And meanwhile, Milwaukee has 16 runs in 2 games. So you'll excuse me, but it feels like a beatdown at this point.
It is.
I'm one of those people that, I revere the Phillies and the Dodgers. I think that's the heavyweight division. And that's because I've looked at Milwaukee in recent playoff years. I think the last 5 times they've been in the playoffs, Mike, they've only won 2 games. They've never advanced another round. And a lot of people say it's because they don't hit the long ball. They were 22nd in the major leagues this year in home runs. But if you get 3 in one night, you get 3 in a playoff game, that can change the trajectory, of what you're doing for the playoffs. So, I mean, I was impressed. I was impressed. And I was impressed by your boy, The Miz. The Miz in his last 8 appearances had a 6.06 ERA.
Yeah.
And he was electric last night.
You and other Cub fans I know spent all summer taking shots at The Miz. And
I did.
Come on,
he had
now.
A bad
I told you this
half.
kid was
great.
terrific. Everything
Did you hear me say he was electric last night? He was hitting 104.
100, yeah.
Let's take a break. Coming up, the Browns trade Joe Flacco to the Bengals. We're going to ask Jeff Saturday for his thoughts on that.
We'll also ask him what he saw during the miss shut us down. 16 pitches of his 31, I think, reached 100.
Pardon the injury.
Time to dig into the NFL trenches with our great friend, ESPN NFL analyst Jeff Saturday. Jeff, the Browns today, this afternoon, just traded Joe Flacco to the Bengals. That is a division rival. What does that say to you?
It ain't good. It ain't good, fellas. It's like, hey, we no longer, this guy's no longer going to help us. We don't believe he's really going to help you. Otherwise, we wouldn't trade him to you, you know? But as I looked at the trade, look, this is no slight to Joe Flacco because, you know, he's had an incredible career and what he's done. But you're sending him to a team that Burrow's already been hurt, that Browning gets pressured all the time. Yeah, I'm not sure what the frustration is, if it's like from the receiving core or whatever it is. They just want somebody else change for change. But you got to protect the quarterback, especially a 40-plus-year-old. And I know you got Chase. I know you got Higgins. You better learn to seven-man protect so that he can get the ball off and throw those two guys. Otherwise, this thing could get ugly in a hurry.
I'm so glad I'm so glad people are gushing over this trade, and Jeff is, as always, the voice of reason. Let's go to last night and Trevor Lawrence falling down on the ultimate play in that game. And, Jeff, when you see the reaction of the offensive linemen and defensive linemen, most of whom are on the ground, but when you look at the replay of that over and over, you focus first on what?
Oh, the finish between the left guard and the tackle. So if you see Lawrence fall down and then get up a full rush, the tackle knocks him clearly down, which honestly opens up a lane, but they couldn't. But it's special because that was a massive win for the Jags, and to finish it that way is such a feather in the cap and such a confidence booster. A lot of respect for how they closed it out.
At the other end of the emotional spectrum was, of course, Cardinals coach Jonathan Gannon. And his reaction first to DeMarcado, and then his apology for the way he ended that whole thing in the end zone. How do you see that from the perspective of a former player and coach?
Yeah, first, there's no place for it, right? Putting your hands on a player from a coach, right? You're the head coach. You're the ultimate authority on that team. So, you know, you go put your hands on a guy and the guy responds back, what's going to happen, right? Like, I mean, it could have gotten much worse than it did from DeMarcado. He handled it. You know, obviously it was frustrating and disappointing for him, but the way he handled the exchange between he and Gannon, he definitely handled it the right way by not doing anything back. But the issue for me is this, you'll see what it really meant if the guys really buy into the apology, because it felt authentic. Like what Gannon said, I thought felt authentic. I felt like I blew it. I got caught up in all of those things are true, right? But don't forget, like the game wasn't over when that happened. They still got a lead, right? So But the credibility he's built in the locker room will go a long way here, because the guys will see this as truly being authentic. Hey, bad moment. This is not him. This is not him. He was out of character for him. He lost it in a moment. We've all done that in our life. We're going to get over it. And again, like, from a player perspective, we do and say a lot of things on the sideline, right? And Dominique Foxworth said it best. On the sideline, there's no HR department, right? Like we said things to each other, to coaches, players that aren't kind. And what he did was not acceptable. You don't ever want to put but they can squash it. Those two can squash it, and the team as a whole. And that's hoping that's what I hope will come of this is, hey, he's built enough credibility in the locker room that guys accept the apology, accept that he knew he was wrong, and then move on.
Let us get you out of here on this. Alabama has been getting the ball to a 370-pound offensive tackle, Caden Proctor. What is your review as a former lineman? I'm sure you're jealous. What is your review of his abilities?
I'm so jealous, but I'm so happy simultaneously. Like, I love to see, the pass on the sideline a couple weeks ago. He's over there shaking bacon, tiptoeing the sideline. Now he's bowling people over. Like, there is nothing better than seeing a guy who works for a living. And yes, that's what we call ourselves in the trenches. Dudes who go to work for a living and get some shine and get the ball in his hands. I absolutely love it. No more respect for any coaching staff that'll put a cat like that and give him some payoff and some reward, it is a thing of beauty. As I like to say, it's glorious to watch for all involved, man. Go O-line. Let's go make it happen, baby.
As always, thank you, Jeff.
That.
Thanks so
Jeff.
much.
Appreciate it.
Oh, appreciate it, fellas.
Let's take one last break, but coming up, could star Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer return in time for Saturday's big rivalry game against Texas?
And will the Blue Jays end the Yankees season tonight? Spoiler alert, no.
I mean, I understand how a coach wants to make amends and keep the locker room, but the guy let go of the ball, Mike. He let go of the ball before he went into the end zone. They win. Anytime, people. Happy 33rd birthday, Mookie Betts. Betts is now the Dodgers' full-time shortstop after playing right field and second base during his tenure in Los Angeles. When he was in Boston, Betts was a full-time outfielder. Betts won the American League MVP for the Red Sox in 2018, then got traded inexplicably in what was reported to be a cost-cutting move in 2020. How crazy was that? Betts is now part of a devastating top of the order for the Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani, Betts, Freddie Freeman. Betts has a World Series ring from Boston in 2018 and 2 from Los Angeles, 2020, 2024. He is also a terrific bowler, having bowled 300 games.
I wonder if Betts plays golf. I bet he's great at everything. How stupid is it? Now, the Red Sox have won so much, maybe they think they're insulated from anything and they can do something as dumb as get rid of Mookie Betts. It's plain stupid, but they keep winning, so they get forgiven.
Happy anniversary, Drew Brees. On this day 13 years ago, Brees broke Johnny Unitas' NFL record for consecutive games with a touchdown pass, 48. Brees ran his total up to 54 games. Tom Brady got the closest with 52. The current active leader is Lamar Jackson with 28 consecutive games with a touchdown pass. Curiously, missed games do not automatically end the touchdown passing streak. Brees had 571 career touchdown passes, and that is second all-time to Brady, who has 649. Peyton Manning is third, 539. Aaron Rodgers, the active leader, fourth all-time, 511. Brett Favre is next with 508.
How many games did Cal Ripken get to miss and say, oh, wait, that one doesn't count. I'll pick it up next Sunday.
Zero.
How many times Cal get to do that? Yeah,
Zero
none.
would be the correct answer.
Yeah.
Zero. Happy trails to John Mateer's absence for Oklahoma. The Sooners quarterback is reportedly pushing to play in Saturday's game against Texas, less than 3 weeks after hand surgery. Mateer broke a bone in his throwing hand in a win over Auburn. Mateer's been considered a leading candidate for the Heisman, but Oklahoma had a bye and then a romp over Kent State, so his absence has yet to hurt the 6th-ranked Sooners in the win-loss column.
Remember when the Oklahoma-Texas game used to be like the third week?
Yes.
You could set your life
early.
by it, the third week of the college football season. It was such a great game, and you look forward to it so much. And now, just play it whenever. We'll see what happens. College football.
One update for you. Mookie Betts is reportedly a 10 handicap.
See, there we have it. Yeah,
why don't you play him?
known.
Why don't you just go play him, see how you do? Let's go to the big finish.
Let's do it.
The NFL will reportedly fine Jerry Jones $250,000 for flipping off Jets fans on Sunday. Okay by you?
I want this show. Here's what will be okay by me. This show should be a Jerry Jones free zone and show. Sometime. Most of the week, if not all of it. Cooper Flagg scored 10 points in 14 minutes in his preseason debut against the Thunder. Were you impressed?
It doesn't matter. Exhibition games, they just don't matter. When the regular season starts, wake me. I'll watch. The Bucks and Knicks reportedly had trade talks involving Giannis this summer. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. And I told you the other day, Giannis is going to be gone before the end of this season. Somewhere, I don't know where, and it won't be the Knicks. Pens at Rangers tonight. Are you excited about that? It's the regular season.
Yes, because of Sidney Crosby. Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and Chris Letang are now going to play for a 20th season together.
They're old.
Last one, will the Blue Jays close out the Yankees tonight?
No. I've been telling you this for 2 days. No, the Yankees are going to come back and win tonight, and this series is going to get some drama to it. Count on it. Book it.
Rodon is going tonight. We'll see if it works out. We're out of time. Try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheimer.
I'm Mike. You knuckleheads. And now, here's Sports Center.